with a closed-end fund, such as we are listing today, the fund itself is listed on the main board of the exchange, and thus the units of the fund are fully tradable on an exchange in exactly the same way as equities are traded. So we're looking for this fund to actually be actively traded because they trade exactly the same way like equities trade today. Thus, Sim Capital Alliance Value Fund was listed today at 103.50 kobo and trading has commenced. An investor wishing to purchase or sell units of the fund simply places an order through their stockbroker at any time. The units trade continuously, and the investor does not rely on periodic valuations provided by the fund manager. As with the more familiar open-ended funds, closed-end funds can be either equity funds, such as the Sim Capital Alliance Value Fund today, that we're listing today, or bond funds. Now, the Sim Capital Alliance, I'm sure you're going to talk a little bit more about it. We believe it's about 85% equities. So we'll just categorize it as equities. In this regard, let me use this opportunity to reiterate some of the pertinent key initiatives of the exchange. As I just mentioned, market development is a major priority. Promoting closed-end funds is another area of focus. In addition, we intend to offer 5 products in 5 years. In addition to equities, our aim is to promote active trading in bonds, exchange-traded funds, options, and financial futures. These initiatives are a vital part of increasing the vibrancy, depth, and competitiveness of the exchange so we can truly become the undisputed gateway to African markets.
African Capital Alliance, which a couple of you might know much better, is a premier private equity fund in Nigeria, and together they formed to set up Sim Capital Alliance in 2007. The stock market was quite high, valuations were quite high, and we felt it wasn't a time to set up a fund of this nature. However, we believe, as you'll see in a few slides as we go ahead, reason why we eventually decided to launch this fund sometime last year. Very quickly, the Sim Capital Alliance Value Fund is a closed-end fund like we've touched on earlier on. We issued 50 million units of the shares at 103.50 kobo. The plan was to raise a little over 5 billion naira, and the target audience or the target investors for this fund were primarily pension funds and institutional investors, pretty much patient capital, because one of the things you will see in a closed-end fund is the ability to deploy the capital based on your strategies and based on your philosophy, your investment philosophy. We felt we needed patient monies, so the focus really was more on institutional investors, and they pretty much form the bulk of the 32 odd million units of the shares that we eventually issued. And the fund will be listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange by way of direct listing, which is also quite new in this market. And we will provide information and meet necessary requirements of the NSE, like any other listed company, and we'll provide evaluations on a quarterly basis.